Happy New Year! I'm Ratha, the founder and creative behind Rajana Threads. We are the first Khmer owned ethical clothing brand that aims to promote traditional hand-woven textile through modern and contemporary wear. Cambodia has a huge weaving culture. The golden silk is indigenous to the region because of the type of mulberry mulberry leaves that are produced in the region, and as such, when the silkworm feed on this type of mulberry that grows in the region, they produce a golden color silk. So this here are food containers. This is actually hand woven bamboo. I just love how cute this looks. And typically we would carry food to the temple in these type of containers. And now you may be used to seeing the metal containers, which is actually a little bit better in carrying food items such as liquids, soups, as such. It is a container, as you can see, a 3-tiered. So again, it's very eco-friendly. So here's another one that's very cute. So if you have like a colorful dessert or something, you know, this will be a showstopper definitely at the temple. So first textile I like to talk about is pamung. Pamung is commonly worn throughout Cambodia. It is hand woven and made from silk. If it's made from anything else and it's not hand woven, then it's definitely not pamung. One thing I really love about pamung is because of its style, it really allows the silk to shine through. I mean, it's so luxurious without any effort, as you can see. Imagine wearing this out in the sun. When people wear pamung, they typically wear it liet. Liet meaning no pattern at all. Sometimes they'll add beading to the bottom or to the skirt, just to give it that little oomph. But you know, pamung really shines on its own. There are 3 different types of pamung. So you have the pamung liet, brocade at the bottom, and it's usually gold or silver. It's the all over pattern, as you can see here. And we just love the contrast of colors here. As you can see, it's a mustard yellow with blue all over pattern. And then I actually got this made with a matching shirt. After the war, it was really difficult for the weaving industry to recover, and a lot of weavers who were not able to afford, you know, silk weaving turned to cotton or cotton mix. As such, so sung is made from cotton or cotton mix threads, and sung has become very popular because of 1, its affordability, and then 2, its durability. A lot of the pieces that we carry, you know, in our Rajana Threads shop is made from sung, because what we want is to introduce the public to Cambodian textiles through these affordable pieces, and of course later on build in, you know, the pamung as well as the whole designs on the sung basically mimics that of the pamung. This is one of my original design. It is called the Khmer. As you can see, it's a full fold. So the traditional skirt, there's no opening. It's fully closed and it's a folded skirt. And we modernized it by having a little open, and it's also slightly shorter. It's a midi length. And this here is sung with batak. And so batak is the all over pattern. The Jantani, it is a gathered skirt with pockets, of course. And this here, again, the style of the pamung, you have the brocade at the bottom, in which we call cho jung. A loom can be woven from either silk or cotton. Really love this. This is a traditional folded skirt. It is made from a loom mba. And you see how the traditional folded skirt, there's no opening. And of course, the style is much longer rather than a midi length, and it's super soft because it's cotton. It's also a loom that is woven from silk. Anything with stripes is considered a loom. And this here is a modern cut. There's also a fold, but it's a fake fold because it's sewed close here. The zipper in the back. And then we made it with a matching shirt. These scarves here we typically call krosain, or they can be called krama depending on the pattern. So as you know, Cambodia is very well known for its krama. It's a multi-use scarf, the gingham pattern traditionally, and it comes in all colors. So these krama comes in different sizes. You'll see a lot of people wearing it this way. And then this is pinia. This is called pinia. So this is worn specifically if you are entering the temple and you're going in for prayer. This is how you would wear your krama. Again, this krama is multi-use. And there are ones where it's more colorful. So this is a colorful krama, and they come in all different colors. There is krama sot. The word sot means silk. And so this here is actually a silk krama, which of course is more expensive because it is silk. It's lighter weight and it definitely has that thin, luxurious silk feel. Krosain hole, there's a big difference. The hole is a completely different weaving technique. And this as well comes in different patterns and colors, and it's just so beautiful. And so instead of a krama, you can have one of these krosain hole like this, or it can complement a dress simply by wearing it this way. Here we have one that is made of organic cotton, and it's, oh my god, it's so soft, and I love this. This is actually hand woven in Siem Reap. Comes in different colors and patterns. And this is actually shawl size. So it can actually be a scarf, but it can also be a shawl, you know, for one of those days where you just need to cover your shoulders, or if you're wearing something that you're not sure if it's temple appropriate, you could throw on one of these and you'd be perfect. And this is also good as well for krosain pinia because it's big enough. So there you go. And then of course I have a white krosain, typically used by older folks, and also during Bon Chum, which is honoring our Ancestors Day. And so the krosain same way can be worn, you know, around like this or as a pinia. You'll see a lot of the old grandmas, the elders at the temple wear their krosain this way. So I have with me here is two alpat. Alpat is basically lace shirts. Now when the French colonized Cambodia, they also brought with them lace. And here I'm wearing one alpat. Here's another style of alpat. And you can basically create any style. Typically with Khmer alpat, the zipper is always on the back. And so you'll always need someone to help you zip up one of these. Yeah. And they come in all patterns and colors. Here's another design. Again, the zipper is in the back as well. Whole is ikat. It is woven from silk, and recently it has been woven out of cotton as well, organic cotton. The pants I'm wearing right now is actually cotton ikat, so cotton whole, and I love it. The patterns are very unique to Cambodia, and Cambodia is actually one of the few countries that is able to achieve this type of weaving, this weft ikat technique. And so I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud to be Khmer and that we're able to produce something so beautiful. I call this the textile. It's called the textile because it is hand woven in textile. All of the cotton and everything is made in textile. So wearing this, I feel, is wearing a piece of my country, is wearing a piece of my people, their work, and I'm also wearing their art. And I think that's what's great about Rajana Threads modern pieces, is that you can carry these beautiful art with you. They're wearable art, what we call pidan. So pidan are typically sort of these images. I mean, can you imagine weaving these images on? And I call it work of art. I've yet to put it in a frame in my house, but I cannot wait to hang this beautiful piece. This, I'm sure, probably took months to create. As you can see, the more colors and the more patterns makes the whole even more expensive. So this in itself is at least $300 or more, depending on size, depending on color, and depending on the intricacy of the patterns. And whole Khmer is the pride and joy of Cambodia. Whole is actually woven a little differently from all of the other types of textiles in that pattern needs to be binded first onto the actual threads before it gets dyed. And then once it's dyed, you'd have to re-dye each time if you're adding more colors to it. And so it's not a one-step process of dyeing and then it's complete, or you're putting together 2-3 thread colors and it's complete. Each time you want that color, you have to continue to dye it. And then for every design, it is hand bound to create these designs. Here's two traditional whole. This one here, I'm not sure if you can see, but it is peacocks. Cambodians love their whole, and it's been cut into many different things, from pants to jackets to shirts to dresses. We would love to do that one day when we are able to afford to. As I mentioned previously, that whole is actually one of the intricate, and the more colors, the more expensive. And so you're probably wondering, oh, I've seen Cambodian whole. I'm usually seeing just, 1 or 2 colors. That's because the wearer probably, one, I'm pretty sure they like it, and then 2, it's a little bit more affordable to get sort of the lesser colors and lesser patterns versus the ones with more patterns and more colors. It's a little bit more expensive, and so you can expect for whole to be very expensive. If someone is selling you whole and you're paying less than $100, chances are those are knockoffs. And I say knockoff, they're faux silk, they're machine spun, and they're not made in Cambodia, but it has flooded the Cambodian markets. And what's very upsetting is that it's doing a disservice to weavers, because weavers spend, weeks and months on end creating each beautiful handcrafted piece, only to, be taken over by something that is machine made, and that's not even made in Cambodia, but has made its way in, and it's disguising itself as Cambodian textile or Khmer textile when it's really not. So I just want to put it out there that when you are buying these pieces, really touch it. Does it feel like silk to you, or does it feel like regular fabric? Look on the back side. If it is actually hand woven, then you will see the pattern also on the back side. I mean, you could literally wear a hole on the back side as well, because the pattern will show up as well on the back side. Whereas these knockoff hole, there's no pattern on the back side because everything is actually printed on. Okay. And then here's another type of traditional hole, gala thut, meaning just small patterns. You can say gala thut or gom thut, whereas this one is considered gom tom tom. So big pattern, gom is the pattern. So this is gom tom, and gom tom is usually more expensive than the gom thut. You can see the difference there. This next piece of textile is not a Cambodian textile. It's actually made in Indonesia, Singapore, or Malaysia, and also there's some from Thailand as well. They're actually printed batiks. So the Cambodians call this type of fabric sarong, and it is worn daily. Lots of farmers wear sarong. People in the countryside wear sarong, and in the last couple decades there's been this sort of love for sarong that reminds them of like the countryside, that nostalgic feel of Cambodia. And sarong is no longer made in Cambodia. It's widely sold in the markets, and the Khmer people just love sarong. And one of my designs here, it's called the knee dress, and of course made from sarong. We had it lined. Technically you don't have to, but it's a little thin if you don't, and it doesn't hold its shape. And so by lining it, it gives it a thicker feel, and it also keeps the shape of the sarong. And what's really cool about this dress is that it's an open back, and you can tie it. And so call it the Rajana, simply for its my take on a traditional style of the folded skirt and a shirt with a spai. And then you have the skirt here, which is, again, it's a faux fold, and it has pockets. Yes, where's the pocket? Right here. So, not your traditional folded skirt. This is the Rajana. One of the most expensive, luxurious, and difficult weaving technique would have to be the jarabak. And so what I have here are some examples of jarabak. So traditional jarabak is usually woven two different colors. Threads. The threads can either be gold or silver. And these type of textile is not for everyday wear. One, it's very difficult to weave, and two, it's also hard to take care of. A modernized jarabak, and I was able to get this cut into a folded skirt to wear, and it's, you can see just the shine, its beauty, the color. Okay, and I'm going to show you the inside and how it looks like when I mention the thread count, because you can actually see the thread. I'm not sure if you're the woven thread. I'm so happy and excited about is the fact that we've been working very closely with our partners in the Gale, and they've been making wearable jarabak. You don't know how happy I am to hear that. And so we were able to create these pieces, and we call it the Mura. So here you have a contemporary jarabak. As you can see, very soft. It's super heavy because of the thread count. I wouldn't say super heavy, but it has weight to it. It created a pocket, high-waisted, wide-leg pocket pants with a matching pull-on crop top. Isn't that beautiful? And what makes a jarabak, aside from the fact that it's difficult to weave and who gets to wear it or the type of occasions it's used for, it's really the pattern. Jarabak is always an all-over pattern, and they're usually big patterns, and we call these gom. So when it's woven, it's called lug gom. Lug means to lift. Gom means pattern. So it's lifting the pattern. You can see it's lifted. Even inside out, the pattern is lifted, as you can see. You can't even tell the difference between inside out or the actual outside. That's how beautiful a jarabak is, and we are so happy to have these jarabak pieces in our shop. There's not one way to wear our clothing, and I think that's what I really love about it. I just love incorporating my cultural threads into daily wear. Cambodia is such a beautiful country, and definitely one of its beauty is its textiles. I encourage you to learn more about Cambodian textiles, and you can also begin by going to rajanathreads.com, and I'll provide you the information below. We do have information on our website regarding the different textiles and what they're used for. Feel free, we do provide resources and links as well to other sites that can provide you a more in-depth information about these textiles.